Oh, no, no. This is all you.
Hey, everybody, welcome back.
I'm just your assistant. By volunteer only. He volunteers me. Curious, George. He's a little curious right now. Wanting to know what's going on. Say hi to George.
She was trying to put me in a garbage disposal.
Keep it up, and I will.
She hits people in the head with lunch boxes. She said
I
so.
was
She said
in third
so
grade.
Today. She said so today. I heard her say it with my own
Don't bully
ears.
people in front of me.
See?
I was in third grade.
See?
And a third grader was bullying a kindergartner.
I heard it with my own ears.
I thought he was dead.
She killed him. 911. Somebody call 811, 911, and 1011.
Good thing we don't have those hard lunch boxes anymore.
With the thermoses. Remember the thermoses where they had the glass inside the thermoses? Well, anyways, here we go. The Zoom.
Yeah.
I tried to write it on the paper. It's going to be 38 minutes long, like I said, because other than that, well, it has to go to the charge thing then. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. If not,
What's the meeting ID number?
but it's backwards.
Oh.
'Cause it's
okay. Let me read it to you.
Right.
Okay, so the Zoom meeting ID number, I'll go slow so you can write it down. 573-473-8157. Passcode number.
444.
No, don't do that. Passcode number is B as in boy, the number 9, M as in Michael, number 7, H as in heaven, R as in Robbins. Oh. So it's B9M7HR for the passcode number. The date will be Friday 29th because Nelson ended up having to work Saturday. So we had to change it to Friday. The 29th at 6 p.m. Eastern time zone. And we sure hope that every one of you guys can make it. We tried to do it as late as we could because there are a few of you that are in Australia, which we know, like Luke, he is, what do you say, 16 hours ahead of us?
It's crazy.
So, it would probably be better for him that it's our Friday, which will be his Saturday. Because if we had to do it Saturday, it would have been his Sunday. Like at 11 o'clock or something, he would probably still be in church if he's able to go to church with his injuries.
And the thing about it is I have to wait, I think it's a 30-minute window after this ends. So it'll end.
Before you can upload it?
No. I don't think we can upload these ones because it's
Zoom.
you don't pay for the actual comp thing where to record it and save it, then you can upload it. But I can do a second one. The only problem is I don't have that code yet until this thing processes. The Zoom thing processes, then I can set up the second one right after that. But it would be 5 minutes after this 38 minutes ends. But I'm not going to have time to be able to post that meeting ID. So if anybody's tuning into this, I'll give it like when it gets down to the last 2 minutes or so. But I'll also announce it a couple times during the video in case somebody's clicking on or whatever and want to just go on to the next one. There is a waiting room. I think it's 10-15 minutes they said per thing that you can go on.
Per video.
Yeah, that you can go on and wait in the waiting room. And I guess you guys could chat with each other. I don't know exactly how that works. I've never been on there. Anytime I had to do a Zoom meeting with somebody, I got on like right at the moment.
So what you're saying is after this 38-minute original meeting at 6 o'clock,
right,
we can do another one.
There's another one that's gonna kick on right after that, but you gotta have, I think I got it up to where you won't even, I think I entered them to where you don't even really need a password, but I'm giving you the passwords just in case. That you have to get in with the ID number. I clicked it to where it enabled it so anybody can join at any time. Hopefully that's the case. I don't know. I really don't know because I'm, like I said, I'm normally the one joining the stuff and not having them.
Well, that'll be nice, and we're
So-
not rushed.
Right.
I mean, it might be a little inconvenience to have to stop and then restart again, but at least we'll get to see each other. You guys get to see us, but we don't really know what Luke looks like because we've had a meeting with him before, and we know just a few of you who have your picture. But other than that, we don't know what anybody looks like, and
Well,
it's kind of nice to have a conversation with somebody and put a name to a face.
And it's, I think even with this, because even with this one, now the other one, like I said, I have been praying about, in that video that just uploaded about the Zoom and everything, I've been praying about something, but I'm just waiting on the Lord, and then if that's the case, then I will pay, I think it's like $10 a month for the actual Zoom. And you can have up to 200 people. It doesn't matter. There's no limitation. This one, you only allow 50 people at a time. So I guess it tells you from what I've been going back and forth with the person that I don't know, whoever's in La La Land on these things. It could be a robot for all I know, but all I know is the questions that I asked, the answers I got. I guess there's an event thing on there, whatever, that tells you how many people are currently logged on. So if you're not able to log on, that's why, because it's a 50 cap on the people, which it's probably a good thing because if you get, I was thinking 200 people plus. That's crazy. The idea is for you to be able to, kind of like what we were doing the live thing the other night, and just be courteous with each other and give somebody time, especially you guys have been dealing with me for many years. Sometimes I got to take the detour route to get to where I'm going with it, but I believe everything I give you is good nuggets. Like we call them many times on getting off of there, gather the gold nuggets as we're going and put them in your basket. Because after the end of it, you put it all together, and it's going to give you something incredible from God and Jesus, not myself. I just hear what He tells me to speak, and give it to you that way.
And I would encourage people to write down any questions that come to your mind, so you don't forget. Because things happen. People get to talking, and you just forget. Oh, I wanted to ask them this, or oh, I wanted to ask her that. Welcome to ask us anything.
I have a question.
We're very transparent. And hold on, Curious George.
Oh boy.
What else was I gonna say?
If you have any questions?
Even comments. Somebody's talking and you're afraid that you might forget what you wanted to say. Write it down and then
Well, that makes a good point, because sometimes people say stuff and you're like, well, wait a minute, I want to know a little bit more about that, or what brought you to think that way. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll wait till they're done and be like, well, I want to ask a little bit more on what you're saying, because I'm either intrigued by it or I'm kind of just curious to see what made you think that way, because you got to understand, we bring the Bible into, and I've done it many times, and you guys have heard me tell people many times on these videos, when the Lord gives me to tell you Scripture, I'll give you the Scripture. If not, I'll tell you it's in the Bible, and that's to make you go in there and look. Even if you got to Google it to find it, but the idea is, even if you're Googling it to find it, God's going to grab your attention. He's going to have you read something. You're going to hear Matthew 15 or go to Luke 3. Mm-hmm. It's funny, yesterday or the day before, he both told us, for the last week alone, he told me Luke 4 times. I read the chapter Luke 4. Yeah, chapter Luke 4, the whole entire chapter 4 times.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how he does it. I told you about Matthew, 6 months. So I finally threw the Bible across the room, and I said, I can't read this anymore. This is crazy.
It's amazing. You'll be talking to the Lord about something in prayer, seeking His direction and guidance about a decision that you need to make. You want to know what His will is, and then you hear Him say, like the other day for me, He told me to read Luke 4 and Hebrews 12, and so I knew that, and when it corresponds, only God can do that, and you find in both chapters, it's like I was saying, I was praying about that. And all the books in the Bible and all the chapters in the Bible, God will lead you to the one that you only He can do. that it's just so, all these years later, like I told my kids before, people aren't Christians for 10, 20, 30 years because it's dull. No, quite the opposite. If you are a Christian and you're spending time with the Lord, you are not having a dull relationship with the Lord. It is the most exciting, eventful, and it's just amazing. He's faithful to, and he when his word tells you something, it's truth. You can absolutely declare it for your life. You can be encouraged by it. You can be taught by it. You can be guided by it. There's just so much that his word does for us. But we know that if it says whatever it is for us, it absolutely is. And then it builds confidence in that that the Lord is always for you. Why should you fear? If he's always for you, who can be against you? He's the Most High. Nobody can be against you.
I have a question.
Okay, this is supposed to be a short video.
But I have a question.
Nelson asked me to come on here with him. I said, if it's going to be short.
I have a question. You said it.
It's already longer than I thought it was going to be.
But you said
You don't want it to go to a short, though.
Oh, yeah, forget about it.
I have a question.
Good thing you know that kind of stuff.
You said I get to answer a question in a minute.
So
How long is your minute?
gee, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. My question is
I
this.
should have put minute.
My question is this.
Okay.
Do we get milk and cookies on this tour?
If you want milk and cookies, I can make you some milk and cookies.
But do we get to eat them?
Well, I don't know.
What about
Only you can answer that.
What about the people out there? Do they get to eat
Well,
them?
if they want to make milk and cookies, if they want to come over and have milk and cookies, they're by all means allowed to come over here.
Are you kidding me?
They
You know what she
They have
does?
an invitation. There is a girl who lives in Ohio. Well, there's a couple. There's a late girl who lives in Wadsworth, and I don't remember what her name is. You remember? Is it Amanda?
Amanda.
What's the girl's name that her husband's a truck driver as well? Don't they live in Wadsworth? She isn't far from here.
I don't know if she lives
Can't
in
remember what her
Wadsworth.
name
I don't
was.
remember. Shannon.
Shannon. And then there's a girl that we just met on the live call, and she says she's in Northwest Ohio.
I don't know if she was
She
in
didn't say
Wadsworth.
where she's at, though.
For some reason, I thought it was Norton.
Well, I think maybe it is Norton. Maybe it's Norton and she moved to Wadsworth?
No.
It might be Norton. It absolutely might be. Which is very close to Wadsworth.
Do you guys think we're going to be able to go swimming with the polar bears?
Not me. You won't even see me out there building a snowman.
Only thing I can
It's
say
too cold.
is don't leave your lunch
Not
boxes.
today, not this year.
Don't leave your lunch boxes laying around because you might get
This only if you're bullying people. Of course, I can get in trouble for that these days. I'm an adult. Third grade, I got in trouble by the principal, but these days it's an assault with a deadly weapon.
Not saying a word. I got a scar right here from when she hit me in the head with a club with a nail in it.
And go figure. The guy that was mowing his lawn behind my lawn, his backyard abutted up to my backyard. I was like, is that Matt Campbell? Oh my gosh. Guess what? That was his parents' house that were right behind me. And it was him. And we laughed about it though. Like, you remember the time you hit me with that lunchbox? I was like, yeah, well, you were bullying a kindergartner. A girl at that. You don't do that. Boys don't pick on girls. Third graders don't pick on kindergartners.
There you have it. And this, my folks, is why you don't bully somebody. Because you never know when a lunchbox is coming.
Trust me, third grade, I thought I killed him.
And it
I was
wasn't.
so glad when he got up.
And you got to think about how
I was
old
like,
she
oh
is.
my gosh, she's alive. Thank God.
Her age will. It would come,
What's third grade, about 9,
It's
10?
going to bring you back to this.
8?
Okay.
How old are you?
Here you go. It was metal with the thermoses that had the glass still in it. You know, with the twist caps, and you. That's what she whacked him in the head with, like whack-a-mole.
It's just an instinct. Not like I really thought about what I was doing.
I don't know anybody
I ran
that
all
has
the
an
way home.
instinct.
Thought he was going to chase me all the way home.
after she laid him out and thought she killed him, then she ran all the way home and left him laying there bleeding.
No. Once he got up, I waited till he got up. Then I ran all the way home.
He's laying on the sidewalk, blood gushing from his head.
He was chasing me.
Right.
That was a run. No, that wasn't. We didn't live very close to school. Good thing that he didn't have a grudge after all these years. It's just a little close for comfort. He's mowing the lawn right behind me.
And people say driving truck is dangerous.
It is. It really is.
Well, anybody can do it. All you do
No.
out there is
You
hold a
gotta be.
steering wheel
I
all
am
day.
convinced the Lord has to call you to do that.
You
Because
just-
I've been out there with you, and there is no way that I would ever want to learn to do that. No, it's bad enough to have to drive in a car these days on the highway, let alone be an 18-wheeler.
I got my driver's license today.
And that's 18-wheelers. They think they're little cars doing 80 miles an hour down the highway.
That's because you get the JB Hunts and all these companies and these smaller companies now that are not governing these trucks. They are putting still a governor, but a lot of them are governing them at 72, 75 miles an hour.
Well, you get the owner-operators who...
Don't have no governor. They can go 100 miles an hour if they feel like it.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, honestly, there's days that...
And you wonder why there's so many on the side of the road, accidents.
Especially
when
in the
it
winter.
starts snowing. And,
I think about the guys that I know that I used to talk to and stuff. They'd make fun of me all the time because I'm governor at 65. And most of the time, I keep my truck about 63
I'd be like, and I'm still on the
because
road.
I got to have that opportunity. If I get a steer, which is the front two tires, if I get one of those to blow out, I got to be able to accelerate. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to be able to speed up to be able to get the thing off the side of the road until that thing makes havoc. And it can literally just tear the whole front of your truck apart in no time. I guess he's trying to tell me to stop yippee yapping. But
TikTok.
no, but you know what? Out of TikTok.
I'm just
There is
he
some
knows I want to be rude.
there is some people that has asked me to show more on the videos of trucking and the daily life of a truck driver, and I said you really don't want that because it would drive you. You got to have a lot
You know
of
what?
patience.
That would be a bad idea if I'm out there with you like one day and I could film it for them. Because you can't quite do that when you're driving.
Let me tell you, I can't.
At least I would be able to film like Risky going by and Speedy going by.
I tell you what, I can.
Risky Speedy.
I'll put the cruise control on. I'll steer with my foot.
I make up nicknames for people out there. Remember the signs I wanted to make?
I wouldn't mother.
Put your phone down.
I wouldn't mother people.
No, you wouldn't. But I was thinking about how much fun that would be to have all these signs made up.
You know when she
Then when somebody's doing something they're not supposed to be doing, because you're in a truck, you can see everything they're doing.
when she gets
You hold the sign
in
up
those
to 'em.
moods out there
We laugh.
in the passenger seat, all of a sudden she gets this Jersey Boston accent going on, and it's like,
Ohio's bad enough. Look, we don't live far from Cleveland. Eric, you guys ever been to a Browns game?
Cleveland.
You ever been to the Cleveland Browns Stadium? You go there
Yeah.
wearing a helmet. You wear a bodysuit.
Yeah.
Telling you.
After all,
It's the
people.
only stadium I know where they're trying to rip the seats out and throw them on the field.
No, they actually have done that. They actually have tore
I knew
seats
they
and
were
threw it
trying.
out in the field because they were mad. But out of
Glass
fairness,
bottles. That was the reason they had to win.
that's
plastic bottles.
why NFL teams went to plastic because of Cleveland going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, I forget what game that is.
and
It's actually,
they were throwing it at the
You can watch it. It's probably on
yeah
YouTube.
they were throwing it at the opposite teams.
I think they were throwing it at the refs too.
At the refs because
They were
said
not happy.
He made a wrong call.
The dog pound. I was at a Browns game once, and it was in Florida when we first came back after the 5 years they took our team away.
Wait! I gotta tell you this. They're the only NFL team that bombed Santa Claus with bottles for Christ. That guy had to have well toilets, literally glass bottles at Santa Claus. And they were beaming the car out of that guy. That guy probably had concussion for a year. All because Cleveland got mad.
Look at us this year, though. Can you imagine what the playoffs are going to be like in the Browns in the dog pound?
I can't even.
I was in the dog when I wasn't in the dog pound, but I was at a Browns game, and it was Browns against Tampa,
Down in Florida.
And it was the first year that we came back as a team.
In
Our
Florida,
first
people.
brand new year as a new team in Florida. It was preseason though.
At the Tampa
That
Stadium.
was when we had Couch, quarterback Couch.
Well, I'm
he was
sorry
new.
for that.
Well, the whole team was new.
Whole team sucks.
So, it was exciting. If you were a Browns fan, you didn't care about anybody around you, let me just tell you. Nothing. You were just happy to have your team back. And I've been a Browns fan ever since I can remember. My dad was a football coach. Well, he was an assistant coach. My brother was a huge Steelers fan. These two would have got along great. I was a Brian Sipes fan. We had Brian Sipes then. And then Kosar after that.
You know what?
We had Metcalf.
that
And we
gives
had
me a
Newsom,
great
Ozzie Newsom. We had some of the greats
Tomorrow
that year.
on the
Couple
Zoom
years.
call, I'll put my Pittsburgh jersey on just for you.
Okay. But we're going to the playoffs. I wear my Browns jersey just for you.
I think I'm going to be sick tomorrow. Well, Friday. I'm
He's
sorry.
the one that offered.
Friday. I keep thinking today's Thursday because
Good idea. I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad you
Because
asked.
tomorrow night is the game. The Browns game, that is. Who do we play the Jets. Tracy, I know you're in New York.
Tracy, I'm sorry. She likes Pittsburgh. She told me.
She might.
No, actually,
And she might not even watch football.
She never said if she even likes football. I don't know.
Tracy, even after the game, we're
Tracy,
still friends.
We're
still sisters.
Who
no
have
matter
you
what.
been on the videos with for a long, long time?
There's another New Yorker, and I can't remember what his name is.
Way before anybody else, and not pointing any fingers, came on videos. This guy right here.
What about him?
She's loyal too.
Oh, Tracy.
We have a connection.
She's my friend too.
She's been. You just can't come.
See-
on, you just
see-
can't come on the channel and take people's
Well,
friends.
hold on. Yeah, I can because listen, Jesus says when you get married, you become one flesh.
That
It's
has
a
nothing to
mystery.
do with friends. Some of your
Listen.
friends are horrible people.
Well, no, they're not my friends anymore. That was the old days.
They put
That
super
was-
glue in my key locks.
What?
Okay, that never
That
happened.
didn't happen.
But you,
My
how
friends
many
wouldn't be-
people have sat there for a minute going, "Dang, she's got something."
Yeah, I don't really hang out with. Well, he's pretty much all the person I hang out with. Him and Jesus.
But for real, her one friend did try to drag me in the pool.
I don't really
on
have any
on the 4th of July.
any close Christian friends. I just don't, I did in Florida, but they really don't have any Christian friends. Church we go to is small, and gosh, I don't know. I just don't really have that many.
I can honestly say I cannot honestly tell you the last time I've been to a church that I felt the Spirit actually
won't tell me something.
leaping in me, and I was excited to go back. There was one pastor I actually did feel like that with, and I don't know if he's still preaching today or not. I can't find his number. I got to find his number and get a hold of him. The last time I talked to him, he acted like he really didn't want to talk to me.
Who?
Pastor Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he acted like I was bothering him. So I guess I can be kind of a woodpecker. I guess.
Maybe he was just going through something.
I don't
Just
know.
never know what people are going through,
He's still my
You
pastor.
always gotta think it could be something that they're going through.
I
You
don't
never
know.
take something personal
He's still my pastor.
unless you know for sure you did something wrong.
I love-
Then you shouldn't.
Pastor Mark's Pastor Mark.
forgiveness.
He's I think he's just got to. If he hasn't gotten back into it, I think he should because he's definitely has that calling from God.
Absolutely. He's probably the best pastor I've ever sat and listened to.
And kept it interesting, even though he wasn't never trying to be funny, but the guy
But
does
he's
make
funny.
you laugh. I mean, just some of the stuff that he would do. But
Harold?
anyways,
Did he just say what I thought he said?
it's about 24 minutes into it, so we
Yeah.
should be good. So we shouldn't go
This
to
is a short video.
This is the one last night was only 29 minutes.
Well, we got some popcorn to go eat.
I'm going down to play racing, and I'm gonna win.
Yeah. PlayStation 2.
She-
We're like way back.
She cheats.
I like the PlayStation, the older PlayStations better than the new ones. The new
You
ones
know-
are too complicated. It takes too long to learn them.
Even though it's a video game,
We don't have that kind of time.
It all of a sudden becomes this competition thing.
No, for
She
you,
leaves
I
me
just
high
play to
and
have
dry
fun.
in the middle of nowhere.
I just play to have fun. I can't help it. I'm good at it.
We played Mario Kart. I never played Mario Kart.
I don't even like
I
it.
played the blue ones because I figured
My
that's
kids liked
the
it.
easier one because you got to pop the three balloons. And she's laughing, this evil hyena laugh leaving me.
I really don't like that game though. It's not fun to me. It gets boring too fast for me.
Who did I marry? Who don't like Mario
My
Kart?
daughter loved it.
Mario Kart is the.
Well,
It is,
I think all the kids did.
you know what? I also like Mario Party because you get to
I
go
like
through the
that
events and then you get to battle each other.
I'm more of a find the hidden things kind of missions you got to do and find the hidden like Mario, like what was that first game? Was it Mario?
Mario.
Super Mario. Games like that when that first came out was like everybody's favorite.
Fun fact: I'm gonna exit. We're gonna exit. I'm used to doing it myself, so I already say hi. But did you guys know Mario originally started out in Donkey Kong? He was the guy that would jump up trying to save the princess with the hammer.
Isn't that funny?
Rumor has it he was not even supposed to be a plumber. I don't even know where that came into it, but Mario was never a plumber. He was supposed to be a painter.
Wasn't he a pizza maker?
Why? Because his name's Mario? I used to know a guy named Mario that looked like him that actually made pizzas. Sure, seriously.
Well, we got a Luigi's not too far
He
from
had
here.
an old plumber's vehicle that he turned into a pizza. He put a heater thing in the back of it because, anyways, but it was hilarious. One year for Halloween, he dressed up like Mario, and I was like, oh my god, he looks like the guy.
We could open up a pizza shop and call it Mario's.
Probably get a lawsuit. Well, what you told me to do today, you said something. Oh, do a video with Curious
yeah.
George.
Oh, yeah.
I said that's
And
probably
Snoopy.
some kind of copyright with that. So
Yeah, it's like, you could, Curious George could ask all kinds of questions. And Georgie, being that the Lord showed me him and Georgie in heaven, I know Georgie's there. It is just the most amazing thing. Georgie could be the one answering the questions. You got the Veggie Tales. Excuse me, I'm trying to do something here.
Them the talking bananas?
Ow. You got the Veggie Tales, but there is no really good Christian videos for kids. And if Nelson, I'm trying to talk Nelson into doing this for what? Almost a year now, maybe. Our granddaughter was convinced, and you could tell. We even, before I knew that he was actually, before Jesus showed me him holding Jesus' hand in heaven, I would have, it was just so realistic that you could absolutely believe, even though you weren't sure, you could absolutely believe that Georgie was real. Now, I'm going back years. And me and my youngest daughter and her husband at the time, even her husband would say, wow, sometimes I forget that he's not real. And we would all laugh and get entertained because, what's his name that does the three puppets?
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, he look at the popularity and look at the success he's done with these puppets that he's as a ventriloquist. But if Nelson would use Georgie as teaching lessons about heaven and about Jesus, and then we bring home Curious George and Snoopy. And I was thinking, well, we could just get them involved too and make these children's videos, start off with just one and see what happens. Because it seems like when Nelson brought Georgie on this for the first time or two, there was a lot of comments that adults made about Georgie, about, sharing their experiences when they were a kid and they had a Georgie or the one kid from the military, the guy from the military, he had a Georgie. And, so it was so neat to see these comments and see these stories, or they were emailing Nelson and telling these stories about their Georgie or whoever it was that they had when they were a kid. And it's like, that it just dawned on me that our granddaughter loved it so much that why not try a video and just see what happens? But
Right.
you could do some really good keep them short because kids' attention spans aren't as long as ours. So keep them short, half hour long, maybe 40 minutes tops, and let them be short little lessons about Jesus that a child can understand, kind of like the VeggieTales. But you're using Nelson and Georgie being the teacher, so to speak, as on a more younger level.
Right. See, this goes.
Tell us what you guys think about that.
It goes back when I was a kid, and I had different stuffed animals, and I had them all lined up, and I could sit there hours and do these different voices and all this stuff. But also, it's like
you're very good at it.
when my sister, the one that's not here now, she had her youngest daughter, and she was probably about 1 year old at that point, and I would hold her like this. I would hold her in my arms, and I would move her hands, and like right before Luke Who's Talking even came out, and I'd walk around the house, and I would just hold her up, and her mom would be talking, and I would just talk in a little baby's voice and like point at him. And I did this one night for an hour and a half, and they had friends and stuff over. Her boyfriend was home, but he was a truck driver at the time. And I sat there and I amused these people for an hour and a half, just using my niece as a puppet, basically. But she was real. She and sometimes she'd even like roll her eyes like at a certain pertinent time. But even toys, like Toy Story, I could have did Toy Story years ago. Mm-hmm. But when you don't have that kind of connection or anything like that, I mean, because I've done that under my bed and in my room and done stuff. I mean, I have used my imagination. I mean, I've literally seen and done things that most people would probably think I'm crazy.
And now with YouTube, it's free. You could do it, and kids. We get people on here that maybe have grandkids, or maybe they have younger children. And, it would give an opportunity for a child to get some kind of, teachings about Jesus and God and the angels, or, you have all these experiences that the Lord has brought you to heaven. There's other people on here that I watch who also the Lord has taken them to heaven, more than once, multiple times. And hell, like that one lady, the Lord took her through hell as well, but he stayed with her. She didn't die. He just took her in the spirit, and he took her in heaven too. And she admitted she didn't like going to hell, but it was so that she could present to people, her viewers, what the Lord wanted her to present to everybody. So anyway, I just think that would be, I just have always thought that would be something that there's a need for children, and it's free. People wouldn't have to buy videos. People wouldn't have to take their kids to a movie theater. So many people don't have that kind of money these days, and their kids watching YouTube anyway. Half the TVs that come out already have YouTube on there, and so
3333.
Wow.
Who's this?
Yeah, we need to go 33 minutes. We could talk about this forever, but okay, brothers and sisters, family, and
She just
in
called me
Christ.
her brother. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Well, Jesus is our brother, but he's also our bridegroom. He's also we're members of his body. So we could just, it's just amazing. He's our king. That means it's queen. But wouldn't we all be?
Does it look like
And he's our friend.
Does it look
so
like
many
he's
good things that the Lord is to
coming
us.
on the steps?
I don't have a banana. Georgie does, not me.
You want one? I got all kinds of bananas.
Where am I going to put it? My fingers are so
Yeah, we have
together.
to put a rubber band around your hand.
Out of all the Georgies, she picked me off the shelf. There was a lot of them, and I waved to them bye-bye. I thought, I'm going to the new home, bye-bye. You're all going to the trash can because they're going to trash can you
That's
at
not
the
very
end
nice.
of the season.
Curious George, that's not.
Well, they didn't sell, so where do they go?
How do you know? You're not there.
I watched them before put other ones in a bag and put them in a box.
Maybe they send them to a children's hospital or something.
No, they're going to the trash
I
can.
doubt it. I would think they would donate them to children, orphanage.
We're talking about a store that overprices everything, and then they get you to
But why
buy.
would they just throw them away when they give them to
Well,
children?
maybe they do. They put them in a trash bag and
They
they
probably ship them off.
they suffocate. Okay, we're leaving now. Bye bye. Make sure you watch the credits at the end, and you'll know who I am. And then you can watch me in the next video. Oh, never mind then. She
She
told
them
you.
watch you on the cartoon when they were little. I did.
Hey, look at this. I'm putting makeup on.
Oh,
She puts makeup on. Look. I put some on now. Does that make me a girl? I don't think I should put
I
makeup.
don't think we should get into that topic. Okay,
This is what cats do.
let's sign off, Georgie.
Georgie, he'll get mad.
Okay, Curious George.
Oh, he's mad. He's probably in there throwing them. You know, he's been looking at space helmets all day. We're going to space.
Oh.
I asked him to give me one. I said, use her credit card. She won't mind.
Ah, nice.
All right, guys. See you Friday. Bye. Love ya. Bye.